Greetings and salutations. Oh wait, forgot the light. Let there be a bright light. God, that's light. There we go. Okay, I am Karen Rossmore and welcome to my channel. If you don't know that by now, what are you doing here? Comment suggestions in the chat if you are new here. Yeah, you will need to follow to mention anything in my chat. It keeps the spam bots out. I appreciate that it's a pain in the arse, but at the same token, it's one of them where it's like otherwise interrupted like 3 or 4 times a stream just deleting a spam bot, and there's not always a moderator around to take care of that. Well, that said, most of you I know who are here, maybe, if there's anybody around. That's not telling me. Oh no, it is telling me how many people are here. But what's it? I'm continuing my playthrough of Pathfinder Kingmaker. This is session 67. Yes, 67. It tells me over there again. I've taken out the King of Patax. I've not taken out his pet. I'm now going to go back to Patax after resting up because, last session was just an absolute nightmare. It's all come flooding back to me. So yeah, you'll go into the castle for Patax. You explore around. You get into some really gritty fights. And then you take out the King of Patax. And then he has a moment of bullshit, where he summons his pet that instantly comes in, heals him up to full health, and you start combat again. You've been mullered. Somebody's probably down. Somebody's probably in a terrible situation, and you're starting a fresh combat. I have no idea how you're supposed to do this in real time. And so I managed, and I got cursed. Everybody else was dead or dying apart from Valerie. Valerie got the same curse which polymorphed her into a wolf and died. But by this point, I'd run away. There was nothing realistically I could do, so I just ran away, thinking the moment that everybody drops, I'll just click on the door and leave, because everybody's dead, and I can figure out, maybe come back with a different party, maybe somehow bring them back from the dead, despite not, strictly speaking, having their bodies. Whatever the plan was, Valerie went down as a wolf that dropped the polymorph. So, for a split moment, I could have clicked on that door. I missed that split moment. And Tristan and Valerie stand back up again. By the skin of my teeth, I managed to kill the king yet again, but couldn't kill his pet. Valerie and Tristan got KO'd again. Permanently dead that time. So it was run back off to my capital and heal up, get rid of the curse on me, bring everybody else back from the dead, and now I don't know what I'm doing. So it's back to Patax, and let's see how this goes. That's enough talking for now. Wibble, my cat, wibble indeed. How's it going? Hot. That is hot coffee. I'm not in mod mode. Yeah. So yes, I am currently a wolf. who can't access his inventory. So Tristan has the remove curse spell prepared, I believe. Yes. Can I show you the wares? I can show you the wares. Right. Let's get rid of some of this junk. Incorruptible petal. I mean, there's so much of this junk that's just... I think this one might have been potentially... Oh, it's not got the key. Alright, let's get rid of some of this useless stuff. Does whatchamacallit, what's his face? He used his heavy mace. He's currently wielding the mallet of woe. I suppose I should keep all of that for Harem. Light shield +1. What kind of robes are these? Arbiter's robes. I'm sure. Oh, your robes are pretty good. Yeah, okay. Oh wow, you've had it twice. I need to switch this to mod mode. I didn't think I'd need it. So not only are you not keeping the hairstyles that you've had twice, you've sold both of them. And you'll get it again. Okay. That sounds like fighting words. I suppose one of the bonuses is you've got it a number of times so you can actually sell it. Make a pretty penny out of it. In Final Fantasy XIV, where there's the will, there's a way, and they have a way of selling hairstyles. How limited is it? You know, is it just a case of I got the 9S1 twice too, but it's not worth selling, so I threw it in a guild chest? Unlimited. I mean, the currency is still gil. It's just you can also trade, sell things for gil that are a little bit weird, like hairstyles. Some of these are super specific. You're wearing full plate +4 and it's adamantine, so the full plate +4 without the adamantine is useless. That's a chain shirt +3, that's a chain shirt +2. Don't really think that any of this stuff is really required. What did I... Physical form, physical flow, giant strength, physical might, lowering charisma, vast intelligence, bunch of necklaces +1 and 2. Oh, 3. Cloak of Resistance one. Who needs a Cloak of Resistance one? That's junk. That's junk. They're junk. And offer all the rest of the junk because I picked up a lot of it. And deal. I wonder if there's achievement for having 1 million gold. A friend of mine on the FC won a hairstyle from a raid that's going for 9 mil, so he's loaded now. I take it your guild, FC, whatever you want to call it, is not a fan of these hairstyles then. Because I'd be tempted just to walk around with the 9 million gil hairstyle just for the sake of, haha, I have this hairstyle that's worth more than most people. But we also like money. You do know that it's just, you know, a game and it's not real money, right? I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. You do know that it's a game and it's not real money, but, you know, you do what you will with it. I mean, you will do what you will with it. Your house needs furnishings. I mean, then buy furnishings. Although I'm guessing that's also excessively expensive. Right, we're heading back to Patex, which is closest from Glenshire. So then we teleport. I remember that I've got a teleportation circles. And Patex is there. Try to avoid. Prepare for battle anyway. It can be. I mean, I remember the days of EverQuest. Oh, great. Giant rock creatures. Right. Stay next to Tristan. Let's see if we can get you out of that wolf form. You charge at that one. You sing us a song and shoot that one. Huh, you missed. And I mean, that thing's still flat-footed. Do we know if it's got resistances? It's immune to poison, stun, critical hits, precision damage. Okay, there's no point in letting... Well, no, we might as well get off some of the bigger spells. You're just not going to sneak attack with it. Rage, run, kill that thing. Tristan, for the love of God, make me not a wolf anymore. Oh, God dang it. I hate these spell games where it's... I can't do anything in this form. Are you still in Twilight Princess mode? Yeah, I am still in Twilight Princess mode. I had one shot at getting rid of this damn curse and Tristan just screwed up the spell. No, get back here. Road. Wrong, punit it. You missed it. Out of all the times to bleed and miss it, that was not it.
Tear them apart!
I think I've got a scroll of this. Oh no, the scroll's limited to a level 3 or cast a level 5. Which would mean that it tops out at a 25, which is too low for that damned curse to be broken. Yeah, it's a very woof time. Anyway, I was talking about EverQuest 2. Yeah, EverQuest 2, most of the furniture for player houses was actually... most of it was craftable in some form.
This is for you.
So, you know, while some of it could have been expensive, most of it was actually fairly cheap as long as you knew somebody who could make it. Right. My life is terrible. Spellbook. Where's this bleed and remove curse? Let's get rid of the dispel magics and let's put in another couple of remove curses. Do you have... I do have a use on Tristan's bound object. Thank you for reminding me. And now I shall attempt the spell again. And yet again, it fails. 15 modifier, he needs to roll 13 or above. So he's got... if we rest here, tomorrow he'll have 4 more attempts at it.
It's today, right? I made a note so I won't forget. But then I forgot where I put the note. Oh, here it is. Our king has a very special day today. I wish you many new adventures and exciting events. Because what could be better than adventures? Happy birthday.
Oh yeah, it's my character's birthday. You might be barking up the wrong tree. I mean, I don't see how I'm barking up the wrong tree. You're not going to believe what I heard. Valerie is bursting with indignation. Some insolent wench saw me on the street and called me the king's favourite. It's not like we're hiding our relationship, Valerie. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Valerie raises her hands and drops them helplessly. Great gods, do you really not understand? I'm your companion, a servant to the crown, protector of these lands, and I've gone through thick and thin with you. I've been in so many brawls, and they all whisper behind my back that I'm your woman. And yet, you're the girl I chose. I know, Valerie. You are amazing, and these simpletons are too stupid to even notice. Don't listen to them. Who knows better than you how little their words mean? If you don't like what you anything about our situation, we can always go our separate ways. I know, Valerie. You're amazing, and these simpletons are too simple to even notice. Valerie loses her speech for a moment and then happily laughs like a mischievous little girl. Chiron, you are such a flatterer. You made me laugh. Valerie quickly kisses you and pulls away. Thank you. Let's go. Right. That might have been, you know, somewhat romantic, but I'm currently a dog, so that was actually just a little bit weird. 1. Hey, I'm back to being me again. Of course it works on the first one when I've prepared potentially 4.
I said that the blessing of Sarenrae will light up her soul. She seemed disappointed.
Alright, Tristan. Whatever you want. Level 3 here. Get rid of that and put back in the dispel magic. I'll keep the other 2 for now, just in case we do actually have to fight that thing, and that thing has a chance to rest up. So I'm now back to being human, yay. before we leave my kingdom for good. Let's see what's happened. Happy birthday to you, King. Triumph. Community loyalty, stability, and culture is all up. Yay. Got a few days before that. Insufficient funds. 340 just by the lot. I can't be asked doing the math. What? Oh, you can't skip time while adventuring. I forgot that I needed to be there for them. Right, carry on. We'll do that when we get back to the castle. What are we here to do? Still telling me I think I need to be in here? I do feel, you know, it's saying here, if you feel it's too dark in the dungeon, cast light on one of your companions or break out with torches. For a game where they could have made a lot of use of the whole it's dark kind of thing, without impairing the player, I don't feel that they've made much use of it. Unless everybody in the group's... No, because Valerie's human. Tristan's blind, but so he doesn't really count. Right, I suppose I should go on this way. Now that I'm here, let us save it. Because things are potentially about to get terrible.
I am your shield.
Thing is, I don't really want to bust out all the big spells for this potentially one fight.
In due time.
I mean, I'm going to pull out some of the bigger spells. What? Saying that I can't charge because I need a melee weapon. What do you think a pair of kukri are? Lindsay, sing us a song. There we go. Oh, I can no longer confront Aymar about things. Fair enough. Hey, everybody leveled up. Let's loot some bodies. Alright, time to do some leveling up. We're all level 16. Ooh. Thing is, these whole 1 points of ability really don't make sense. I think I'll get another one in by level 20. I feel that it is. I think it's something like every 4 levels. So I might be able to get it up to a 30. Oh god, what do we want you to have? Cleave? I mean, you don't really hit, but I think I'm going for the cleave because it's all like I don't really have much else. Oh, your weapon attacks with weapons selected with weapon focus ignore up to 5 points of damage reduction. That's not a bad thing to have. Tower shield evasion. At 16th level, while using a tower shield, the tower shield specialist gains evasion. As a rogue class ability, if he makes a successful reflex saving throw against an attack that normally deals half damage on a successful save, he instead takes no damage. Alright. Barbarian. Any of these starting at level 16? Oh, lethal accuracy. While in the lethal stance, which I think she's permanently in the lethal stance, the barbarian's critical multiplier for damage is increased by 1. A by 2 multiplier becomes a by 3, a by 3 before 4, etc. The barbarian must have lethal stance and deadly accuracy rage power and be at least level 16, which I have both. I think I'm taking lethal accuracy. Let's bump up the there's no others, is there? Yeah, no. See, this is one of the things where it's like, because I've just been using this list as like, oh, which one sounds the most interesting out of these? You know, you don't really get a feel for some of these. You know, because there's reckless stance and inspire ferocity. While in reckless stance, the barbarian imparts the stance bonus and penalty to all willing allies within 30 feet. So that's why reckless stance might be a thing. Lethal stance and reckless stance seem to have roughly the same benefit, but reckless stance has a disadvantage, which it takes a AC by 1, whereas this just, you know, adds a +1 competency bonus. I think these are, oh, that's just a +1 bonus, so it's not typed, so it could have been a boon. But still, I'm just going to take lethal accuracy because it's far too late to start faffing around with those. Level 16, Rogue Knife Master. What did I get? I get a Rogue Talent. I also get a... oh, not too bad. I get a +8 in my modifier now. Ooh. Which I think takes my AC up by 1. No, it does not. Might be a case of actually worthwhile taking off the armor at some point. Double debilitation. Do I have more than one debilitating action? Oh no, the debilitating stuff is from another part of a tree, isn't it? Maybe. Ah, yes. So I could take that one. Try anything that opened at 16. That is a question. I don't think there's so much of that when it comes to rogue things. Oh no, Blinding Strike. A character who selects this talent gains Blinding Critical as a bonus feat, even if she doesn't meet the requirements. What's a Blinding Critical do? I mean, it's a bit useless because it's all without going away and looking up Blinding Critical elsewhere. See, that's one of the things that, you know, when it comes to the Barbarian, because it's like certain abilities open up at certain times, it's very easy to see the progress, the level progress route through the abilities that they'll choose. With the rogue, it's like I've been getting these rogue talents every other level since level 2, and none of them, you know, there's been this Blinding Strike, and there might be some others. Improved Uncanny Dodge, which is a rogue eldritch scoundrel, and Uncanny Dodge, which is a rogue eldritch scoundrel. Pretty sure I might have gotten those. Evasion. Oh no. Uncanny Dodge is a can't be flat-footed and can't be flanked. I mean, let's take this Blinding Strike. It's Blinding Critical. Here we go. Whenever you score a critical hit, your oh yeah, might have been able to. A successful Fortitude save reduces your opponent is permanently blinded. A successful Fortitude save reduces this to dazzled for 1d4 rounds. The DC of the Fortitude saving throw is equal to your equal to 10 plus your base attack bonus, 25 in my case. This feat has no effect on creatures that do not rely on eyes for sight and creatures that have more than 2 eyes. Blindness can be cured by heal, regenerate, remove blindness, or similar abilities. You can only apply the effects of one critical feat to a given critical hit unless you possess critical mastery. Alright. Arcane Trickster. Slowly. Yeah. Nearly there with the whole Arcane Trickster. Where is Arcane Trickster? It's this one, isn't it? Ah, more impromptu strike. Take your int up. Put points in just about everything. Level 7 spells, I believe, have just opened up. Ooh, Finger of Death. Resonating Word. Somebody's already got that. Grade to Polymorph. Transforms an ally creature into a large Similodon, a shambling mound, elemental, wyvern, or medium dragon-like creature. The subject may choose to resume its normal form as a full round action. Doing so ends a spell for that subject. Legendary Proportions. You call upon primordial power of ancient megafauna to boost the size of your target. Because of its connection to living creatures in the distant past, the spell does not function on outsiders, undead, or unsummoned creatures. Your target grows to legendary proportions, increasing its size by 2 categories. A creature's height doubles and its weight is increased by a factor of 12. The target gains a +6 size bonus to strength score and a +4 size bonus to its constitution score. It gains a +6 bonus to natural armor and 10 DR adamantine. Melee and range weapons used by this creature deal more damage. And that's what the dinosaur bones are for. I mean, that could just be funny, you know, bumping up Anne-Marie. I don't think there is a ray at this. Oh, prismatic? Oh no. See, prismatic spray is always a nice one to have, but at the same token, it's not very easy in this game to get the cone not to hit your allies. And seeing as though it's all creatures in a cone, and some of these are pretty nasty. You mark several allies with a flaming rune. This rune does not cause damage and sheds light as if it were a torch. While a firebrand burns, any creature marked is immune to damage from any fire spell you cast. All of the target's weapons, both natural and manufactured, inflict +1d6 points of fire damage on hit. This bonus fire damage stacks with any amount of fire damage the creature's weapons might already inflict. At any point during the spell's duration, the creature bearing a firebrand can launch a beam of fire at the target within 30 feet as a swift action. This ray requires a ranged touch attack to hit and deals 66 points of fire damage. Once a creature uses a firebrand to fire a ray in this manner, the effects of a spell end on that creature. I think I'm going to take that. Sounds like fun. Tristan, become a better cleric, as always. Have some more wisdom, and skill points and all that stuff. And that's it. I think he might have just got access to level 8 spells. Not entirely sure.
Confide in me.
I know, he's already had 8. Which reminds me, let's sort out Valerie's 7. That's array. This spell instantly delivers 10 points of damage per caster level. So 130 points. If a target's fortitude saving throw succeeds, it takes 3d6 points of damage plus 1 per caster level. That's either really good or terrible. Let's have another firebrand. Why not? I keep forgetting that I've got a heightened Scorching Ray. Let's take a fireball, but now that we've got the firebrand. Tristan. You can't prepare that in a normal one. You can prepare that in a normal one. Ba 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 ba. The creature you designate is surrounded by a glowing red aura of vengeful fate. Once per round, the target makes an attack or casts a spell. It must succeed at a fortitude saving throw with a DC of 1 plus 1/2 the caster's level plus wisdom. If the target fails the saving throw, it takes 4d6 plus your wisdom modifier electricity damage. It takes no damage on a successful saving throw. Sure, why not? Let's just have another. This spell cures 5d8 points of damage plus 1 point per caster level, maximum plus 25. Unlike other spells that heal damage, Breath of Life can bring recently slain creatures back to life. If cast upon a creature that has died within 2 rounds, apply the healing from the spell to the creature. If the healed creature's hit points total is at a negative amount less than the Constitution score, it comes back to life and stabilizes without its new hit point total. If a creature's hit point total is a negative amount equal to or greater than its Constitution score, the creature remains dead. Creatures brought back to life through Breath of Life gain temporary negative level that lasts 1 day. Creatures slain by death effects cannot be saved by Breath of Life. Like cure spells, Breath of Life deals damage to undead creatures rather than curing them and cannot bring them back to life. I mean, sure, it's totally pointless trying to bring somebody back to life during combat, as we've established the AI in this game just hates people. And finally, the Bard. Oh, you got a extra point in charisma. And she get a level 4 spell. Let's take Hold Monster, because that's useful in some cases. Each round, you can target a single living creature, striking it with waves of power. Depending on the target's HD, hit die, this attack has as many as 3 effects. If a target's hit die is 10 or more, it is sickened for 10 minutes per caster level. If the hit die is 5 to 9, it is frightened and sickened for 10 minutes per caster level. If the target's hit die is 4 or less, it is paralyzed, frightened, and sickened. It seems strange to me that a level 6 spell has an effect for targets with hit die less of 4 or less. Because that basically means it's a level 4 monster of some variety, or thereabouts. It's not a very strong one. You know, assuming that hit die go up to a maximum of 12 like it does in D&D, don't know for sure. It's got a maximum of, you know, let's say that its Constitution modifier is like 10. It's still only got a maximum of like 58 hit points. You're better off just trying to kill it at that stage. I mean, being sickened for 10 minutes or being frightened and sickened isn't the worst thing in the world. Brilliant inspiration. You open a link between your mind and the subject's mind, giving advice and encouragement as long as the spell is in effect. Each time the subject makes of the spell makes an attack roll, ability check, or skill check, it rolls 2d20s and takes a better result. If any roll is a natural 20, the spell effect ends. Your brilliant advice is spent. I mean, that could... it only lasts one round a level, although that's 16 rounds these days. That could be useful for when... Octavia is casting off, you know, so like, some of her spells. The number of times that she has missed. Overwhelming presence. Oh, this is the one that's been affected by me so many times. Your presence inspires incredible awe in those nearby. A creature that fails its saving throw against a spell falls to the ground and prostrates itself before you, believing it bows before or a divine presence. The creatures are cowering for the duration of the spell. Each round after that, the target of the spell makes a new saving throw at the end to end the effect. A creature that recovers from the spell early after being affected by it takes 1d6 points of wisdom drain and is staggered for 1d4 rounds. A creature that succeeds the initial save to resist this spell is merely staggered for 1 round. Sure, why not? Mind me, you've got wisdom damage. Haba. There we go.
Done with waiting.
No mistakes.
Right. I know this isn't very interesting to watch, but it's time to clean up these. Right, the main one that I use is Inspire Courage. Let's Inspire Confidence. Fascinate. Fascinate. What is Fascinate? Inspire Competence. +2 bonus on skill checks as long as they continue to hear the bard's performance. I mean, I always forget to use that one if I'm going to use it at all. Spend a swift action each round. You can imbue your weapons with a fraction of your power. For 1 round, your weapon deals +1 damage. I mean, that's not actually the worst thing in the world. Right. Fascinate, but I'm not really ever going to use. Dirge of Doom. Foster a sense of growing dread in his enemies, causing them to become shaken. To be affected, the enemy must be within 30 feet to be able to see and save. Effects persist. Okay, so that's just shaken, which
I know what to do.
Didn't I have something weird? Related to shaken. Maybe. That was something that I was going to look at. Yeah, if I could get a belt of physical form. +6. And give it to Chiron. It would actually be worthwhile taking off the armor. Although that's a question. Drag these down to the bottom here. Just drag it down to the bleeding bottom, would you? Right, I've got 29 AC. If I take those off and put those on, it gives me a 30. That hardly seems worth it. Especially since that's adamantine, which gives me 1 DR. Not a great thing, but it also gives me a +4 on confirmation rolls to hit. And the 1 AC bonus isn't exactly going to hurt me too much. Anyway, back to...
Adventures call to them.
Inspire greatness. A bard at 9th level or higher can use his performance to inspire greatness in all of his allies within 30 feet, granting extra fighting capability. A creature inspired with greatness gains 2 hit dice, d10s. The consummate number of temporary hit points apply the target's constitution modifier if he has any 2 of these bonus hit points, +2 competence bonus on attack rolls, and +1 competence bonus on fortitude saves. I'm not entirely sure if that's worth it, but I'll keep it there. Frightening tune. Each enemy within range receives a will save, 10 plus half a bard's level plus the bard's charisma modifier to negate the effect. If a save succeeds, the creature is immune to its ability for 24 hours. If it fails, the target becomes frightened and flees as long as it can hear the bard's performance. I don't know, I'm still... See, that's a 20%, you know, in 1 more level, that would be a maximum of +4. Any robes that would add to his AC? I don't think I've got many robes of AC. You know, unless you can wear this one. Yeah, in theory you could wear those. Which gives him a 30. And then these braces for a 35. But I don't think I've got many other robes, and also that leaves Octavia at a 22. Wouldn't be too bad if she had improved invisibility. But I don't even think she's got invisibility. See invisibility communal. That's one that could be useful. Let's get rid of the spiked pit and put in that. She's got invisibility, but the subject, the spell ends. Druid? Not entirely sure. Yeah, I'd be tempted to do something like that if there was another robe that buffed up. I might leave those braces on him so that I don't accidentally sell them to somebody. But I think Octavia really needs the AC to be 27. If I could get improved invisibility. Does she have shield? As a spell? Believe so. I mean, she's got mage armor, which I like never use. And shield. Shield is in her. I can never remember what this does. Character abilities. Specialist skills. Opposition schools. A wizard that chooses to specialize in one lies in one school of magic must select two other schools. Opposition representing knowledge sacrificed in one area of arcane lore to gain mastery in another. A wizard who prepares from his opposition schools must use 2 spell slots per level to prepare the spell. So yes, she does have shield. She's only a minute, but that could do. That's 14 hours, 13 hours. She's an armor bonus to AC. And compared to that, it's a deflection bonus. That's an armor bonus. So yeah, in theory I could get her a +4 as a shield bonus to offset the 5 AC of that. And it's certainly a possibility because I don't really use most of these. Taking me up to a 35 I don't think is too bad. I mean, I could just find something to put her in eventually anyway. That actually makes her fairly sturdy, although, what's this? Oh. Although that's an enhancement bonus, and that's an enhancement bonus. Just we don't have many belts. So that gives her a respectable constitution and takes her AC up to a 24. The shield would also further boost that, while giving me a 35. I mean, Amory's only defense is that she's a bag of hit points. Anyway, back to sorting out Lindsay. Frightening tune, I don't like the sounds of. Oh, that's not too bad. Bonus on saving throws and bonus to AC. Dodge bonus. Do you have a spare natural armor cloak for her?
You can count on me.
I mean, I've not got any cloaks other than a resistance. Also, natural armor tends to be amulets. But the amulet that she's wearing gives her +5 deflection. And also the constitution, which is actually bumping her up to triple-digit hit points. Right, that's that. That's also really useful, especially when people are fatigued. I'm not entirely sure where she's getting dimensioned or mass from. We'll put that out there. Does she have it as a spell? No, she doesn't. Brilliant inspiration. Just organizing these quite crudely. Where are you going? Don't move. By level. It's one of them with spellcasters. You kind of either want, I mean, for, let's put it on this row. Three. Do I have enough space to leave a gap? Two. Let's put up over here. One. We'll put here. Probably eventually gonna have to scrunch these up even further as she gets more spells. Right.
Right here, my friend.
Tristan. We'll leave those two there. I've never really used these. What's this? Blessing of the Faithful. Get rid of that. Blessing of the Faithful. Get rid of that. Holy Lance. Get rid of that. And then we're into the spells. Right. Maximize Rod. Lesser Empower Rod. Lesser Maximize. Maximize, lesser maximize, lesser empower. The angelic form is useful. Treat affliction is also kind of useful to remind me that it exists. I'm tempted to put that there just so that I have some space. those three are always active, so there's not a major issue there. They're the rods. Right, spells, level 8. I have a feeling that he's already going to be filling up a lot of these, so just putting them out in order. Five. Four. Three. Two. One. I don't actually have space for all of these. What did I just do? 2 ends on that. One is that. That, and that. And then Fairy Fire, I forgot, but I very rarely use Fairy Fire, so I'm gonna... Oh, no, Fairy Fire is the main one. I get rid of that and give us another Bless. That can go there, and then that can go there. This is one of the problems with a lot of these things. It's sort of like personally grouping spells by buffs, offensive, and situation, and then order them in duration from longest to shortest. There's a lot of ways that you could organize these things, and one of the problems I have is I've just quite literally filled up all of Tristan's bars. Bar that one slot there, which I realised was a duplicate of a thing over there, so I'm just going to move these up a little bit. You know, it's one of the things I don't like about Pathfinder. To a certain degree, and the spells. Because there's a lot of them where it's all like, I would love, if we can just take a look at Tristan's spellbook, you know, to have a remove sickness on hand, or, you know, some of these other spells. But there's no real way of prepping spells that might be useful that ultimately you're not entirely sure if it's going to be useful. And one of the things that, you know, I'd be tempted to say, it's like, okay, out of all of these spells, Bless is the only one that I really use. So remove this, remove Fear, remove these Banes, and just put Blessed in all of them. That if needs be, they can be converted into Cure Light Wounds. Second level, find one spell out of all of these which it's like going to consistently use. And I think the only one in this one tends to be the Lesser Restoration. Scorching Ray is not a bad option, but I don't think I can prepare that anywhere else. Level 3, and it's like, okay, now we're starting to get into ones that, you know, remove curse, that would have been useful. Dispel magic, potentially there. Blindness, cure blindness, or remove blindness. and, you know, these other options for one of them. It's like, do I prepare a Dispel Magic and a Remove Curse? Or do I sort of like, you know, there's this one. 10 minutes, all allies resist energy communal. Sounds like a reasonable shout. Just prepare 5 of them. And so in theory, you know, you could have one spell for every single level. Maybe 2 if you've got a domain one which won't go into a standard slot. But then I'd have 16 spells to choose from. And yeah, then organising them doesn't become too bad because there's only 16 choices. At the moment, I've just cleared out all of his hotbars, and now they're all full again. And yeah, okay, I could start playing around with his spells a little, but I don't always know what's best to do on that.
Ready and willing.
You know, I'm just about to go through Octavia's list. But at the same token, it's like, how should I organise these? And how best to... Yeah, it's not too bad where you can convert it, but Octavia has a lot less utility. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, to a certain degree, there's a lot of these spells that it's like, yes, it exists, but I haven't used it in so long. You know, there's this favoured school slot. And it's like, none of these... I mean, Stone Fist... No, that just gives you... None of these transmutation spells are ones that I would particularly prep, but I've got this favoured slot that's got to have something in there, and the Hurricane Bow isn't a bad shout. But after that, it's like Snowball is probably the... Is this against... Oh no, that's a saving throw. So yeah, I'd be tempted just to actually put all of those into Magic Missile. It's a fairly reliable spell. Does a respectable amount of damage for a first level spell. Never misses. Can be resisted, but, you know. And then do the same for, you know, replace all of these with Scorching Rays, because I can't remember the last time I used Mirror Image. I should possibly use Mirror Image more often. But I forget that it exists, and also it's like you walk into a fight, and I think it's one of them where, does she even have a bow? Yes, she has a bow. She's got a short bow. Mainly using that because it gives the Fire Gemstone, which I very rarely use, apparently. But I should possibly use more often. I mean, it's either or, because 9 times out of 10 I've got a casting the Acid Splash because it's a touch attack cantrip. So yeah, I could replace all of these with, you know, either Scorching Ray, Acid Bolt, or Mirror Image. I'm tempted to take that off and give her another Mirror Image because they're useful. But at the same token, when do you actually, you know, a lot of the time you walk into a fight and it's like maybe you'll wanna use the Mirror Image, but sometimes you don't know. And it's like, do I want to burn a mirror image on this fight? And it turns out to be 3 trolls, very easy to kill, no problem. Mirror image is essentially wasted. Haste is a good one to have. The pits have been useful. Again, I have a feeling to a certain degree what they could have done with doing, especially with the way that it feels like Octavia should be built using the Arcane Trickster and her sneak attack with touch spell attacks, is I would have preferred to see at least 1 spell per level of these where it's a touch attack. Because yes, haste is great. Slow can be useful. But again, it's knowing which fights to use these 2 in. The pits are useful. The whole person's useful if you can get it to work. Yeah, I've already dumbed this one down to a Dimension Door, Dragon's Breath. I'm going to get rid of the Dragon's Breath and give her another Dimension Door. That's useful for getting the party around. These is another one where it's like, I don't really know what to put in here. So I've just selected 5 random ones, which are not too bad. Where's... Oh, that's Hungry Pit. There's Acid Pit. So it goes Acid Pit, Hungry Pit. Yeah, maybe another Hungry Pit, because that's fairly useful, although kind of dangerous. Replace all of these for, you know... See, level 6 is where it actually starts becoming useful again, where it's like, you've got that, which is touch attack. But it's only fire and... each ray requires a ranged touch attack, deals 1d6 of damage. Half damage is fire, the other half is directly of unholy power and therefore not subject to reduced by fire. So, you know, just replacing all of them with this one would be great. But you've also got the Elemental Assessor, just in case they're immune to fire. Chain Lightning's been really good to me. Vitarple's been kind of useful in places. These are new, and yes, I've done, you know, basically just prepared those 2 because she doesn't have many choices in there. But at the same token, you know, it's very easy to be so like, this is my favorite spell at this spell level, and just use that 1 spell and just ramp up her damage like nobody's business. Right. That could do with going somewhere and both of these being turned off. Right, lesser quicken, extend, maximize meta magic. I don't really change that because I like the dex bonus. See, she's also got a Dimension Door mass from somewhere. See, I get a feeling those are from the staff, but I don't know. Out of resources. Not entirely sure why she's out of resources. What? This staff contains 6 charges that are replenished each day. By spending 3 charges, its wielder may cast Fireball and by spending 2 charges, they may cast Scorching Ray. Don't know why it's out of charges, because I've not used it today as far as I'm aware. Unless I've been using it instead of the spells, but I'm pretty sure the spells are gone. Oh no, one of the spells is gone. Anyway, spells, level 7. Seeing as though I've simplified her list a little bit. But yeah, it's very easy. Sometimes just to get into the habit of sort of like, I'm a wizard, I'm prepping magic missile in all of my first level slots, and I will never prep another spell in there. Because why should I bother? I have an itchy face. Oh. Yeah, there's a potential that I could just throw haste in at 3rd level. I'm gonna run out of room, so gotta squish all of these up. I think that would be one thing that would help me organize these better to a certain extent, is if you could have unlimited number of toolbars wherever you wanted on screen. You know, like when you're playing an MMO. But at the same token, you know, one of the things about an MMO is you're only ever really concerning yourself with your own spell bars. You're not having to do it for 6 people. This is one of the reasons why I've been kind of putting off this. See that? She's got... I'm gonna spellbook, get rid of that, put in another magic missile. There, we've now got 3 spells here. 1, 2, and 3. I know I could have squeezed up a little bit here. Not entirely sure why that's there. And I might eventually end up doing that. Yeah, the acid arrows are more useful against... See, this is again where it's all like they're still good because they do 2d4 points of acid damage. Plus they do acid damage each round. Now, yes, she won't get a sneak attack on that, but if you're going up against trolls, and there's been a fair few trolls in this campaign, acid arrow is great because after she initially hits, doesn't matter. That troll is taking that acid damage. That said, I do like the Scorching Ray. But that's one of the things where it's like, I'm tempted just to ditch everything and put Scorching Ray just in there. And potentially put them all at the level 4 one as well. Because I don't really use Acid Pit, and I do use a little bit of Dimension Door. I don't use this Obsidian Flow, ever, I don't think. But it's the only spell that I've got at level 4 that'll go in that slot. But anyway, I feel that that's enough mucking around for now. I just love Valerie. She's got 3 buttons. Power attack I never bleed and use. Right, let us finish exploring this place.
Here.
I'm done with him. whatever he was. The antique throne is soiled with greasy stains and from spilt gravy. Untouched delicacies are getting cold on the table. I don't think I've been here. Suppose I gotta find something to do now. Wasn't that something? No, it wasn't the King's Chambers. Was it the King's Chambers? Did you just pick up Cleve with Valerie? I think I did. No, I took penetrating strikes. I did think about Cleve, but Valerie very rarely hits compared to everybody else. I mean, I don't know why she doesn't hit as often, but she just doesn't. Come on, speed up, everybody. Ironically, I'm going to use that one. There we go. I totally forgot that, or I nearly forgot that this was a thing that I'd not done. Ooh, Ivaretti's notebook. So this is it, the magic chunk of wood that N needed so much. Out of everyone I sent to procure it, that lame Tartuccio was the one to get lucky. The rascal politely died, sparing me the need of paying, but to hell with him. This odd piece of wood is so important. He said it's called briar. What's so special about it? Why is it so important for N? And more importantly, what's in it for me? Started with the basics, tried examining the piece of wood using magical detection. Simple, right? My eyes nearly popped out. The thing has a stunning aura. It's a major artifact, maybe even belonged to one of the gods, or an eldest perhaps. N is a fae, probably swiped it from someone in the first world. Congratulations, Ivaretti, you've hit the jackpot. Just figure out fast what to do with it before they take it away. Artifacts, especially major ones, are deceptive. Hold it by the wrong end, and a ship bucket of curses will come showering down upon you. So before experimenting it with myself, I gave it to my Igri girl, and told her to poke Drevlev with it. Nobody's ransom for him, and he's too proud to either serve me or warm my bed, so let him be the test subject. It ended badly. The poor fellow lost his mind. Well, that's a result too. Angry Girl is like a totally different creature. She used to hiss at me and threaten to bite something off unless I soothed her with a few spells. And now she coaxes me, assumes the most seductive poses, whispers tender things. She's fallen in love with me head over heels, and I haven't used any spells on her for days. Looks like I somehow activated the wooden finger's witchery, but how? It wasn't. Why wasn't it Drevlev who fell in love with her, but she with me? I need to continue these experiments. I've got it. Touching the briar causes the subject to fall in love with its owner. That's me. Drevlev's insanity doesn't fit into this, but we'll deal with that later. As for now, I should try this artifact on whom? There are so many opportunities, I don't know where to begin. I used the briar on A. B. I couldn't have lured that column of ice into bed without divine intervention. At first I thought she went mad too. The foolish woman started screaming, throwing plates, splashing wine on me, acting more like a stallkeeper than a bard. But in a couple of days people reported that she came to her senses and was seeking revenge. Ha ha! But still, what does this mean? How does this briar work? There must be some purpose. I tested it on an IN. Same result, an ugly tantrum out of the blue. Ha, Hivereti. You have everything, wealth, talent, power, but no luck with love. None whatsoever. Fun is fun, but I need to do something with the briar and soon. If Anne finds out I've been hiding her toy from her all this time, I'll be in trouble. But what tragic comedy. I hold this incredible power in my hands, but don't have the key to use it. I've no one to ask for advice, not a single intelligent spellcaster nearby. I should have opened a school of magic instead of an academy of the grand arts. Yoink.
Just letting the ink dry.
I should have turned that off ages ago. Before reading the book. Should remember that Lindsay's got soothing, not soothing, enduring. The bardic things last for longer than just one round. I should flicker these things on and off as I'm going to use them. Right, now I've taken care of everything in there, hopefully the outside world will change a little. Nope. Started raining.
As it should be.
Oh, hello. Earbold the Insightful. Your Highness, if you left the palace alive, you must be the new king of Pitax. As victor, you deserve as much of a stately greeting, but I'm afraid we'll have to postpone the festivities. Your new subjects are in urgent need of help. Professor Earwald, what are you doing here? It's dangerous for you here. I came because I was worried about you, and not because I'm the one who's in danger right now. There are riots in the city. A crowd has gathered around the Academy of Grand Arts. They're out for blood. I beg you, you must interfere before it's too late. Alright. Welcome to the Academy. I'm guessing Lindsay's book was slightly more incendiary than was intended. crowd of citizens armed with whatever they could find, bludgeons, daggers, torches, murmurs indignantly. They are listening to a student who stands before a young man lying in a puddle of blood. It takes you to a moment to realize that the wounded body is Alondi. An end to tyranny, an end to a humiliation and disgrace that despotic swindler Ivaretti brought upon the city. You've all read Lindsay's book. You all know that rot that festers behind this facade. Lies, bullying, violence, and sycophancy. These are the arts Ivaretti patronized. His favourite students are all murderers like this scumbag. The girl delivers a swift kick to Alandi's body. Is this the kind of academy we need? Let the devils take it. Burn it all to the ground. Burn away the rot so we can begin anew. Stop! What are you doing? I didn't write the book too. Lindsay's words are drowned out by the joyful roar of the crowd. Look, it's Lindsay. She's here with us. Our hero. Come, throw the first torch. What's going on? It's our new king! Hurrah! Hurrah for the liberator! They killed Alondi. I didn't want this. They're going to burn down the academy, all because of my book. Maybe you should have. That Alondi was an arsehole and he got what he deserved. And you've won. Look at them. They're looking at you like a leader. And you didn't even raise a sword for it. The quill was enough. What are you doing? Shame on you. Look at yourselves. You're like animals. This is how you act after I freed you from that tyrant? The crowd's enthusiasm dies out. After a bit of confused clattering, the rioters clear out. Lindsay looks abashed, tears in her eyes. This is my fault. This is all because of my book. This isn't what I wanted. I wanted to punish Alondi, to tell the whole truth about him, but I didn't think he'd be killed. It may as well have been me who killed him. Professor Earbold was right. The quill is a deadly weapon, and I swung it like a toy, praising myself for my bravery and uncompromising attitude. I was so sure that I was following a bard's calling, and I was ready to pay the price for that. But it never occurred to me that it might not be But it never occurred to me that I might not be the end up being the one to pay it. Don't give up. You did the right thing. You're a bard. Your calling is to tell the truth. Lindsay stares at the slain bard. But I didn't want him dead. Were you dead? Honestly, I didn't. But if the truth of your deeds brought this fate upon you, is that really my fault? Lindsay closes her eyes. No. No excuses. Your blood is on my hands, and I will never forget this. But now I know of the power of my weapon. I won't lay it down. I'll tell the truth, even if it eventually kills me too. Lindsay looks away from the academy and Alondi's body. I think I finally graduated today. I almost failed the final exam, but thanks to you I endured. Thank you. Now, let's go. There's nothing left for me here. Nobody want to tell Lindsay that Tristan was right behind her and is a very damn hand at bringing people back from the dead. No? It's one of them things where it's in fantasy settings where resurrection or raise dead those kind of spells are available, especially to a party like this. It's like, how do you narratively kill somebody in a way like that, where it's all, you know, to a certain extent. Again, if this was a tabletop game rather than a computer game, you know, the person who's playing Tristan would could turn to the GM and be sort of like, I cast Resurrection, True Resurrection, Raise Dead, whole host of spells that'll bring somebody back to life. Does it work? And unless the GM, you know, I don't know if this is the same for Pathfinder. I know that this is a rule in D&D, where anytime that you cast a spell like that, there's a sub-clause in it that the target has to be willing. There's a bunch of other clauses depending on the spell exactly. You've got Raise Dead, which must have the corpse must have been dead in the last week or so. You've got Revivify, the corpse must have been dead for a couple of rounds. Resurrection, the corpse must be there and they've got to have died within like the last year or 10 years, something like that. And True Resurrection, where you don't even need the body, you just need to know the person's real name, and it's within 100 years and they didn't die of natural causes. And you can bring them, attempt to bring them back to life, but they have to be willing to come back to life. So when you kill somebody as simply as a mob, what's stopping anybody from basically being, we're gonna bring him back to life? And to a certain extent, completely negating the story aspect of it. I wouldn't say completely negating, because the events did happen. Lindsay did learn the effects of what she did, and bringing them back to life, it's like, yeah, I'm not always going to be around. You wish to see the Machines? Please follow me. Marcinis Claria della Forini. What is this? I wasn't expecting guests. A woman comes out from the back room in a dress that was once expensive but is now moth-eaten and heavily mended. Her posture and gait give away a noble upbringing. She seems to be in her 40s, though in some pain or suffering must have worn her beyond her years, leaving wrinkles across her face and grey in her hair. I am Marchioness Clarida della Forni. Welcome to my manor. I'm afraid I have nothing to offer you, nor do I have the honor of knowing you. To what do I owe the pleasure? Hello, mother. Octavia? Gods, my Octavia, it's really you. It's been so many years, the Marchioness steps forward to hug her daughter, tears in her eyes, but she stops when she sees Octavia's stony gaze. Your Octavia? Your? The last memory of you is selling... My last memory of you is selling me to the slave traders, and you dare to call me yours? Cruel words, but fair. Octavia, my child, let me tell you what happened. Afterwards, you may decide on your own what to do, even if it means you never wish to see me again. And I need to be happy. All I need to be happy is that you know. All I need to be happy is to know you are safe and sound. I'm listening. Who was Octavia's father? A pathetic wretch, nothing more. A visiting elf swept a silly young girl off her feet and then vanished as soon as he learned she was expecting. I care not even to say his name. I care not even to say his name. How did Octavia become a slave? My father, may his soul rest in peace, was a very stern man. Some would say cruel. When he found out I was expecting child of some adventurer, he expelled me from the house and cut me off from any inheritance. I scraped by on my own for 3 years, sewing, teaching, and the like. But then father discovered he was dying, and the Della Ferrani line would end. So he told me he would leave the full inheritance to me if only I would get rid of my disgrace. Get rid of you. And so you did. Traded me for an inheritance, I see. No, it wasn't like that at all. I had a plan to deceive him, you know. I made arrangements with the man from the Technic League. He was supposed to take you to Numeria, keep you there until my father died, and then bring you back. I was trying to do what I thought was best for you. Do you understand? I wanted you to grow up in your own manner, in luxury rather than poverty. But once father was gone, a man from the Technic League said he didn't remember any such arrangements. He said he'd bought you and had already sold you, and I had no idea where you were anymore. Why didn't you buy her back? I had no idea where she was. Octavia, believe me, I continued to look for you all these years. I spent all the inheritance hiring sleuths and investigators to scour Numeria and the River Kingdoms for you. But you were nowhere to be found. The Marchioness wipes tears from her eyes. I knew you were still alive. I could feel it. And I never stopped searching. I just wanted to see you again, just once, and beg for your forgiveness. What do you say, Octavia? What is there to say, Mother? What is there to say? Mother, you're such a fool. Octavia sobs. You think I wouldn't have done fine without a title? I'd have grown up, learnt some craft. We'd have been poor, probably, but at least we would have been together. The Marchioness and Octavia hold each other tight. Will you stay, at least for a little while? There's so much to talk about. Isn't it dangerous for you here, though, with just a couple of servants? There's a lot of disquiet in Pitax right now, and trouble all around. Magical beasts, barbarians. I live in the Dumwana barony now. Have you heard of it? It's recently established. Maybe you can move there. I'll be able to tell you what you've been I'll be able to tell you what I've been doing all this time and show you all that I've achieved. Dumwana barony. As you say, my child. I'll begin packing immediately. Octavia hugs her mother again. I'll be waiting for you.
In due time.
One of them weird things. It's like I've got a daylight bulb behind me. I've got this bright light over here. I totally failed to realise that it's pitch black out there.
Iraveti was dead, and good riddance. Our ruler added the crown of Pitax to the crown of the Stolen Lands. But behind the dead monarch loomed the shadow of a much more dangerous foe.
Why isn't this place part of my kingdom yet? Weak Pitaxian influence. The regent's people successfully persuaded the locals to remain. Plus 23 and a lot. Safe refuge, opportunity, Jubileost. Go! Teleport to Loachingdale. Enter the main square. I have a feeling, and I know that I've said this before, or at least speculated it, but I do think that we're starting somewhere near the final chapter, if not the final chapter. Don't know how long this one's gonna last. But all the same, mental perfection, and positive. I have a feeling I should give the briar to somebody.
Ready for anything?
Overlooking. Here we go. Octavia stands beneath a tree and looking once again at the fibula with Della Fione's coat of arms. Well then, no more mysteries. I know who I am now. Octavia gently pins a fibula to her curves. Hereditary Marchioness Della Fione. Beautiful words for someone called Hey You all her childhood, aren't they? Now, Your Highness, please address me solely as Your Excellence from now on. Octavia trying to maintain a solemn expression, but less than a few seconds pass before she breaks into laughter. Kidding, I'm kidding, of course. In all seriousness, I'm just happy to know my mother didn't betray me. This was all just a mistake, a terrible, idiotic mistake, but still fixable. Now I have family, apart from my own insane team, of course. You, Reg, Lindsay. I wouldn't leave you for the world. The Marchioness is lucky to have a daughter like you. Truth be told, she didn't deserve your forgiveness. Maybe she didn't, so what? Unlike justice, mercy is meant for those who don't deserve it. If all I ever thought about was serving justice, I never would have let Joshua save those poor souls. Joshua go to save those poor souls. Would that have been better? Well, Your Highness, what's next? You have the entirety of the Grand Della Fione family as your loyal vessels. Whatever you have planned, I am with you till the end. How many more million? Jesus. 300,000 until the next level. I'm just curious, given the fact that, you know... Oh, that's a thing that's still going on, I suppose. Where's that key? Yeah, 9 charges left on it. Just kind of looking at all the quests that I've got left. To a certain degree, I'm now at the point where it's like, I just kind of want this game to be done, dusted, and over. Not that I'm going to rush it excessively to the end. The half-elf, clearly embarrassed to be in the palace, he shuffles his feet and bows shyly. Greetings, your highness. Here, I've brought you something. Hermit's robe. Thank you, I hope to see more proof of your mastery in the future. The half-elf blushes and bows hurriedly. How come there isn't a thing? Though it might come soon, I suppose. I'll just rest today and then start getting to business on these things. I'm guessing I'm waiting until the Ancient Curse Part 6 before things start kicking up again. But it's one of them, it's like, you've overthrown tax, it's now part of your... Wait a minute, it's not part of your kingdom just yet. Oh well, region 2, well, there's no pressing events. What's this? Any building in a town that provides a bonus to either community or loyalty will also provide +1 to economy. Bread and circuses. The moment I click the button, 4 events come up. A hero's reward, failure. The plot of land designated as the reward has already been claimed by another. To avoid conflict, the commander did the honourable thing and rejected the offer. A hero's remains, disaster. Pharasma's priests have been unable to reach the soul of a deceased dwarf or discover where his remains might lie. The Grand Diplomat is waiting to discuss important matters. The Pataxian crown awaits an audience. What? I need to speak to the crown? Lindsay, there's a whole delegation from Tax to see you. They're standing by the doors, scowling at each other. It looks like it's about to come to blows. Gaspir Lysanzi greets you with a polite bow. Your Highness, the old families and founders of Patax are grateful for you for sparing us from the usurper's tyranny. Allow us to assure you in our loyalty. None of the trade houses seek the Pataxian crown, which is rightfully yours, of course. If it would please you to appoint a governor to oversee the city, all 4 families humbly recommend me for this position. Khan Viril stares as Gaspier is with dim, bloodshot eyes. Your Highness, of course, it wasn't always peaceful between us. The Thieves Guild used to fight a lot against you a little. But that's all water under the bridge, right? Ivaretti's rule has ended, and the Guild, represented by me, promises to support and share our profits. Speaking of profits, if you appoint me as governor, then your share will make you gasp. Do I not get a lawful one? I appoint Gaspier Licenza as governor. Thank you for your trust. Allow me to pledge our allegiance once again, both mine and that of all the old families. Khan grits his teeth with anger. Is that so? Very well. So, we've decided a governor. Would you like to say anything to the visitors, or are they free to go? There's a whole crowd waiting in the hall. Guards, I sentence Khan Viril to death. Take him. You won't get away with this, do you hear me? The Guild will find you. You'll be weeping in blood. You'll eat your own guts. A wise decision, Your Highness. The city will be safer and cleaner without him. They appear to be out of coffee. The guards drag away the gnome, kicking and screaming. Lindsay, what's next on the agenda? You must decide the fate of the Academy. Your Highness, I, Alatia Githran, ask you to relieve me of my post as headmaster at the Academy. After all that has happened, I'm hardly worthy of keeping it. Ademaid Bravava, the most famous bard in all of Patax, gives you a charming smile. For the first time, I completely agree with my respected colleague, and if you don't have another candidate for the position, allow me to offer my services. Where's the option to appoint Lindsay? Can I get any information on these people? So it's one of them where it's like, I don't know the positions or strengths of either candidate here. Atelier, I refuse to accept your resignation. The head of the Academy needs a headmaster, and you are the best candidate. Atelier looks down and quietly replies, As you wish, Your Highness. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Lady Gitteron is not only competent, but extremely pliable, accommodating, and efficient. Let her serve you as diligently as she served Ivaretti. Is that all? Is there anything else? Anyone else who can't be wait to be seen? Guards, I sentence Ademaid Bravava to be executed. Take her away. What? No. Who else wants an audience? Isri KLC, captain of the guard, comes to pledge allegiance to his king. Izzy KLC greets you with a reserved bow. Your Highness, according to the tradition set forth by the first kings of Patax, I've come to pledge my allegiance to the city and its citizens, before you and the crown. I shall serve Patax faithfully and loyally to my dying breath, and guard the peace of the streets. I accept your pledge. Serve the city as you have before. Thank you, Your Highness. I must say, now that you so wisely spared the city from the scoundrel Khan Viril, it will be much easier to keep order. Very well, I shall take my leave. Saluting you, Ursi Kelsil leaves the throne room. Well, we're done with the guards. Who else is left? No one else. Well, what a day. It's not easy to rule. I'd rather break up a pack of wyvern than live through another day like this. That's a lot of things. You've returned to the city, the old trade houses. Frankly, under all the velvet clothes and pretty words, they're just plain old bandits, but old and familiar ones at least. I guess Pitax will soon go back to what it was like before Ivereti. Karun, we've arrested a strange man. He was making a map of our rivers and bays. Upon his capture, he shouted that he serves the Black Marquis, was sent to create a map of local trade routes. But pirates are full of guile, and the map might not be used for trade, but for raids. What are we going to do with him? Being that he admittedly served another king. The most important thing is to appear strong and influential. If we demonstrate our military power, the pirates will be afraid to face us. Even better, we could show them our riches. Whether or not the story about trade routes is a tale, we can let the Black Marquis wonder if he'd be better off if he were our friend. I wish to know more about the Black Marquis and his protectorate. Once a Chelish pirate named Morgan the White visited the village of Deadbridge to rest and replenish his supplies. He settled there and in time decided to build a whole pirate nation there. Those joined him began to collect duties from foreign ships, but they never touched the ships of the river kingdoms. Thus he gained the support and respect of his neighbours. That's how the protectorate was created. Military 3, economy 3, espionage 3. Show him we're rich and he'll conclude that he'll be better off as our friends. Great. We'll show off our riches and convince pirates to trade with us, not fight. I can't wait for an opportunity to chat with the first captains who bring us their goods. Add all available regions to your lands. After all of Ivereti's actions in Pitax's lands and over ours, I'm almost ready to believe that taking over other lands is a noble cause, as long as it's done with a pure heart. I'm sure the subjects of Pitax and the other lands will feel better off under the governance of our ruler. Alright, is that just something that I can do, or do I have to murder some more kings? Rank up. Grand Diplomat. Projects. Support the Grand Diplomat's endeavours. Oh, same thing. Right, regions. That requires Megavan. Research into the native curses, either. Go off and do that. Strengthening Jod as High Priest. I don't use him as a High Priest anymore. I don't use him for anything. Economy, Arcane Lobby. That requires Octavia, who's currently busy. How long? She's still got 111 days. Jesus. That's a treasurer's. And that's currently in rank 6. The warden to 3. The magistrate to 3. No, it's 3 going up to 4. Okay. 4, 6, 8, 5, 4, 6, Okay, so 3 is the lower ones. And who do we have? Oh, Octavia is already busy with something, so Kristen Garis will go up. It's going to take 14 days. Terrible things have occurred. I didn't even check to see if Patax was ours. Safe refuge, failure. Restoration of the shields, a road of shields. The newly restored road of shields welcomes its first merchants and travellers. In the name of art. Oh yeah, this place is ours. Now, I guess. Is it? It's also a city. I'm over 100 BP per week. Right, the warden needs your advice. Melancholy problem. How long has he got left? I think it's far too long. 46 days, yeah. Right, let's see what else we got. Problem, doppelganger on the throne. Valerie? No, you're all 13, so... Celebrity, this is an opportunity. Regent demands your presence. Minister demands your attention. Warden needs your advice. Right, you're the only one available for that, and that's a problem. That's a problem. That's an opportunity, and people want my attention. We've captured a spy. You'll be surprised to learn where he came from. He's from Daggermark, the capital of espionage and intrigue in the River Kingdoms. My agents were seeking his client, but she made a hurried contact herself. She wants to come over to us, but don't celebrate yet. It may not have occurred to you, but her entire story, which will be so convenient for us, might be a ruse. I'm not sure she's under orders to insinuate herself as a double agent, so I don't think it would help to deliberately feed her lies. But what if she decides to sell us out? Simple greed might never be overlooked. We could take her hostage, someone significant to her. But what if she's not sentimental? The safest bet is advanced magical brainwashing. I couldn't guarantee the security of her personality, personally, however. Send her in the wrong direction and follow her. As you know, every decent plan must have at least 7 layers of lies to cover the truth. Well, maybe this is the best way indeed. Your Highness, a decision has been made regarding the bullets that inhabit one of your regions. The guard and local hunting club seeks them out and kills them, as they should. But the scholarly community of the kingdom has objected to this. Some zoologist has declared that these bullets are a rare species, or subspecies. Long story short, they only live around these parts and nowhere else. Your Highness, the scholars ask that we take these lands under our protection and outlaw the killing of these bullets. However, I firmly believe that the beast should be eradicated. The safety of local peasants outweighs other concerns. Community up, stability up, relations down. Unrest state worsens. We should strive to live in harmony with nature as much as is reasonable. Henceforth, these lands are protected by. Yep. Such beasts have no place in my lands. They must be eradicated. Creston gives a short nod. The guard will hunt them down. Any who volunteer to help will be rewarded. Something happened that always destined to happen. The wanton Dather of the Grey has spilled so much blood, he's finally lost his mind. He's in the Nile Marches, trying to rise in rebellion against us. Ridiculous as it sounds, I'm afraid he's hoping to start a civil war and ultimately seize power. If we hurry, we can't afford to enter negotiations with Davor and his cutthroats. It's time for the general's army to crush this rebellion. I suppose the treasurer wouldn't mind bribing Devon's henchmen. I also expect the Grand Diplomat would prefer to settle this in a peaceful manner. However, there is no more time for such half measures. The rebels have determined their fate. Remember this when it's time to make your decision. Community -10, the Great Rebellion. The goldsmith's face shines. Your Highness, please accept this humble gift as a token of my deepest affections, respect, and whatever else the rules tell me I'm supposed to say. I very much hope you like it. I worked hard on it. Great. I can't wait to see your next creation. Smiling broadly, Mim looks away. Believe me, I won't disappoint you. Keep meaning to check out what I've actually been given. I've been given some rope thing. Oh. This amulet gives its wearer a +6 enhancement bonus to charisma and intelligence, and a +5 resistance bonus to all saving throws. I mean, it's totally useless. There's your +5. See, it's kind of annoying that it can only be equipped by Octavia. But at the same token, a +6 enhancement bonus to charisma and intelligence. This is a +6 enhancement bonus to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. And a +5 resistance bonus to all saving throws, and that's a +5 resistance bonus to all saving throws. So it doesn't do anything unless I unequip these two items. But I don't really think I've got anything that'll go there. Oh well. Assassin shirt. Clockwork pendant. Didn't I get something's changed? Hermit's rope. This belt grants a +4 enhancement bonus to wisdom and constitution, and the ability to cast Mass Bear's Endurance once per day as a 3rd level wizard spell. Alright. Fortune Fencer. This ring grants its wearers a +2 attack bonus, +2 bonus to attack rolls with melee weapons. I mean, that's not bad. But that's a constitution bonus. That's really useful, the continuous freedom of movement. Two to the AC, not bad. Strength bonus is useless. Why am I wearing this? It's doing nothing for me? Oh, that's Dex and Constitution. That's strength. So that's essentially giving me a +2. I need another belt of physical perfection +6. Oh well. That's something I've just remembered. If I'm not mistaken, I think I got a thing for protects in all of this mess. Did I not? Not protects. Why was there just a random ring in my inventory that I've not yet identified? Technically, that's what I thought I picked up. I just can't remember what it was or looked like. Shovel. I do sometimes wish there was a search feature on all of this. It's definitely after that. Where's that? Nope. I guess I imagined it. I didn't think I wouldn't pick it up. No, I guess I didn't find a thing. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing it might be to do with your in-game birthday reward giving you something that showed up in there. Yeah, possibly. But yes, the Lesser Ring of Ultimate Protection. It gives a +4 resistance bonus to all saving throws, +4 deflection bonus to AC, spell resistance 19, and DR 1. That's quite a ring. Deflection bonus to AC. Oh, it's got that freedom of movement on it. Drops the AC by 1 but gives a resistance bonus, which is greater than that resistance bonus, but not going to take that off because of all the resistance and damage resistance to it. Spell resistance of 19. How do I see somebody's spell resistance? She has no spell resistance. And so far she's only got 8. And one of them can be beaten by piercing. So if I do this, she goes down to a 47. However, the saving throws go up, the lowest to a 9. And now when I look at a character, she's got spell resistance 19 and damage reduction is 9. I think that's probably my best bet. Rings of Protection. I mean, does this work for you? No, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything there. I'm guessing it won't do anything for me. Deflection, which is the AC of the robes. Yeah, I think that's now junk. There's a storyteller. The Briar, give Briar to the storyteller. The storyteller takes Briar gingerly. The look on his face is hard to read. It may be awe, or unbelievable tension, perhaps anxiety. This burden is far heavier than my shoulders can carry, but I will attempt to tell you as much as I can. I see the light of a distant world. I feel maimed and scarred by the words. Let your unrequited love guide you. And I become just a part of myself, torn away, cast out, detached. Seek it, hunt it, lust for it. I'm falling. I pierce the plains, pass by entire worlds. I'm buried deep underground, concealed from the other, larger part of me. I humbly wait century after century. A tiny seedling feeds on my strength, growing to unbelievable size. Creatures, tiny and strange, but vile and wicked, settle in the roots. One of them comes into the hall of the heart of the tree in which I rest. But no, it's not one of these creatures. It's an alien being, hiding its true face. It throws me through the portal, straight into the craving hands of the one who calls himself King Iveretti. Forgive me, I cannot glean anything more. Thank you for your help. I brought some relics, buy all of the things, and found a shard. 17 pieces. I don't think I've got 17 of them yet. I've got 12. I can't remember what I'm supposed to be doing. Do I need to go out and do something? Warden needs your attention, Regent Dementia presence, the Grey Rebellion. And I send a person to this. It is a problem, but I can send Tristan with a 61% chance. $85 if I give him the crisis point, but I don't think I should. Celebrity is an opportunity. Send Megavan. A doppelganger to the throne. Only a 5% chance on that one. 16% chance on that one. You do that. You take the crisis point and do that. Other kingdom defense. Reduces the chance of random encounters in claimed regions by 40%. Do that. Tracking the throne thief. Do that. Curses. Economy. Loyal spies. That'll have to wait. Rank up. The warden. And the minister. And there's no other events outstanding. Is there anybody left to do these things? Right, so there's that one, friend diplomat, and that's everybody who can do things. You're 6 going up to 7, and you're 4 going up to 5. I feel that 4 going up to 5 is the best idea. Lots of terrible things. Melancholy failure, loyalty and culture is down. Celebrity disaster. Doppelganger to the throne, failure. Did nobody succeed at their things? Advisor wants a word. Oh, the finest assassin in the world of magic. The greedy Nexian gnome mage offers the sale of advanced military magic technology. Given that Nex is always prepared for another military encounter with Geb, it's bound to be useful and deadly. It's only an opportunity there. People want to see me in the throne room. Claim Dunswood. That's something I feel that I should do sooner rather than later. 5 events. Oh yeah. Go see the people in the throne room. Do you know what the red corner on Tristan's portrait means when you're selecting him for the event? No, not really. Maybe that's not the favourable outcome of the person who gave you the thing? Congratulations, Chiron. It looks like your efforts weren't wasted after all. The Black Marquis and his pirates that were prowling around here won't be attacking the kingdom. It's at least one problem off our hands. Okay. You're back again. There's an issue that demands your attention. Seven Arches wants to bring their fleet to Novoboro, allegedly to combat piracy. But the fact they simply can't accept that the Elves of Cronin are trading dwarven wares with the Five Kings Mountains. Control over Novoboro would allow Seven Arches to collect duties along the trade routes. Both Cronin and Seven Arches are asking for diplomatic support. I think we should put Seven Arches on a shorter leash. Their most recent step is just another attempt to take away someone else's living. We could also bring our own fleet to Novoboro to steal their initiatives. But it's better we have Cronins as an ally. So we get relations are divine, relations are arcane, relations negative, but to be people like. Or we get community, loyalty, stability, and to be people like. But I think the Cronin allies are a good choice. Let's stand up for the Cronin. Wonderful. We will let Seven Arches know that we won't tolerate their brazen efforts to seize an honest trade route. Greetings, Your Highness. Allow me to alleviate your daily concerns with this humble gift from your admirer. I am certain that you or one of your friends will find this trinket useful. It's come a long way to get into your hands. The scroll of Holy Sword. Thank you. I won't keep you waiting. Right. So much going on. Okay, everybody's busy on that one. Everybody's busy on that one. Everybody's busy on that one. But yeah, I have noticed it before where it's like it's got this red mark on there, but region claims an upgrade costs are 25% less. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's support the Grand Diplomat. Right, that's only an opportunity, so you do that thing. This is like the perfect blend of Harim and Octavia, Creston, Harim, Creston, or Jublios. And all four of them are on projects. 6 days for one, which will be Creston. So one of these two, the first of Rover, which is actually a month away. If I bring Dunswood into tow, that requires me, that requires me. Don't want to strengthen Jod's skills unless it's literally nothing better to do. 30 days. I don't like 30 days. Also, region claims aren't that big of a deal. And they're all going to need my attention. So, let's claim Dunswood. The finest assassins in the world of magic. Disaster. The Great Rebellion. Failure. Kingdom's defense. Success. It came from under the ground. It's a problem. Armory, 16% chance. These DCs are ridiculous. The only thing that I can think is I'm expected to have my ranks so far higher than what they are. But even so, the military is at a 6, rank 6. Maybe I could get it all the way up to a rank 10 and get a +8 on that, which would take that up to a 26, which would mean that that's a respectable chance, a 50% chance. But even that's not great for a problem. Hunt the Hunters. This is an opportunity. Stripped of feeling. It's a problem, but nobody can do it. Full-blooded. It's a problem. Guests. The morning after came from underground. So Armory goes off and does that. It's a 5% chance of dealing with that one. It's a 5% chance of dealing with that one. And it's a 0% chance of dealing with that one. That's a problem, and that's a problem. Regions. Belly of the Stolen Lands. They give the grassy plains of Dunwoods a new life. Let the crops and gardens flourish among the frightening ruins of the Cyclopsian Empire. Community and loyalty for every brewery, granary and windmill in this and all adjacent regions. But yeah, my problem isn't getting the stats up. My main problem is spending these 14 days ranking up, but I have a feeling that I'm going to have to start forcing these up whether I want to or not. Yep. Nobody wants to see me in the throne room, at least. So rank up. Let's see who's available. That's rank 5 with a 12. It's rank 5 with an 18. That's rank 8 with a 21. It's rank 4 but with a 14. That's a 15. So it's Valerie who gets this, being the lowest. Success, of course it is. Right. For debate, a famous philosopher has travelled. Okay, that's an opportunity. Melancholy, problem again. 16% chance. Go deal with the problem. Guardian, problem. Jesus. 5% chance. Go deal with that. Nobody's available for that one. Nobody's available for any of the others. Debate. How long is this going to be? 10 days. 0% chance. No point in even going off and doing that. You come bearing gift. Great stuff. Thank you. Goodbye. You come bearing gift. Thank you. Goodbye. I just got something called dystopia. And half plate of hatred. +2 half plate, but +4 against attacks from orcs, giants, and goblinoids. Both of them useless. Right. There's no point in sending rank up. We've got Tristan, who's got a 21. Or Mega Vaughn, who's got a 15. Some that I didn't even get around to doing. Failure. Oh, we actually did something. Success, +8 military. Melancholy, disaster. Failure. Curses, Ivar. Another 48 days on that. Training. Get Magar's skills up. Not a bad thing to be doing. Economy, faster development, allows faster rank ups. That is useful. Treasure requests attention. White tigers, opportunity. Test of steel, opportunity. The debate is still an opportunity. You got a 25% chance of that. You got a 55% chance of that, and you've got a 20% chance of that. I'm liking those numbers. Really itchy foot. The sales representative of several trade houses in Dagamart have arrived at your court. They are interested in trading in our domain. They offer us fair compensation for a trade agreement, but I wouldn't hurry to trust their siren songs. What they truly want is to ruin our merchants, to replace them and lay down their own rule. The rule of urban bandits with sharp blades and deadly poisons. But they are a strong community. They stand united and support each other. If you make a decision that is not to their liking, they won't hesitate to pressure you or cause trouble. In any case, I strongly advise against this dangerous offer. Let them go home. We've no interest in this offer. I will send them away at once. We can do without street gangs, smuggling, bribery, kidnapping, and all the other lovely gifts these Dagamark businessmen. If the tragedy hasn't struck my domain, I'd have loved to neighbor a kingdom led by as so wise a ruler as you. I am struggling to read this evening. Here you go, a little something from old Balkan. If you need anything in particular, just let me know. If you're not sure, I'll go home and think of something myself. My bones ache. Thank you. This will be useful. You may go now. My pleasure. I only hope that no one throws it away or leaves it to rot in some old chest. Oh well. Alright, that was the faster leveling up thing, which I can do by any of them. So let's put the lowest person... Oh wait, no, can I boost Valerie? Whichever ones are free. I think some of these are in such a state because I keep failing things. Who's my option? Oh no, I can send Valerie on that because Valerie's not good for anything else right now. That'll take 14 days. This might be useful, so send that guy off. That'll take 30 days. And then we've got a 15, 22, and a 13. So rank up the stability. The debate was a disaster. The White Tigers was a failure. And tracking the phone thief, success. The minister was able to track the thief's hideout to the ravine in the Thousand Voices. Surely the king will want to have a word with the infamous bandit. Faster development, success. Training for Creston. Training for Magar. He's already doing something. Events. Fey tricks. Problem. 0% chance of success. Because apparently we're now up to a 42. Ice Cold Wrath. Lindsay. 25% chance. Oh, that's a problem. Go do that. That's an opportunity. Opportunity problem. Valerie, you know what to do. And the contract, which is an opportunity. Got an opportunity here. And celebrity here. And also rank ups should only now take half the time. Whoa. It's one of them, it's like increase it ranks by 40 times. Next up, 60 times. Right, I am going to call the stream to a close. So it's time for me to save. And we are saved. There we go. All right. Thank you for joining me. It's one of them where it's like there's been a fair few sessions where it's like there's not but I can do but the kingdom stuff. So I appreciate that this isn't very interesting, and it's one of them where it's like the kingdom stuff is starting to sort of like get to the point of ridiculousness. I cannot, for love nor money, or even the crisis points that I'm using up, trying to get some degree of success on these things, make successes out of all of the problems that are going on, which is driving my stats down, which means that it's going to be more difficult. I have a feeling that there's some trick to the event. One of the things that was I saw a note just in passing on a Facebook group who are paying, is for the Pathfinder computer role-playing games, and one of the things that they said was that like always be carrying around supplies, so that when you're resting, you're taking as little time as possible, so that you've got as much time as possible, rather than hunting. And I've done a lot of the hunting because it's sort of like I don't agree with how much weight the supplies take just for resting, and because I'm not using a lot of packed animals or a lot of strong characters, my carry weight at certain parts of the game has been very restrictive, so I've just kind of gotten used to the hunting. But I have a feeling that you're supposed to not use the hunting, use the supplies, make sure that you're not overburdened so that you can get everywhere as quickly as possible. Use everything in your power to be as quick as possible, so that you've got plenty of time to just spend upgrading the ranks in your kingdom. But even there, I feel that it just takes so long, and you have to be involved with it, so there's nothing you can do about events going on in the meantime. That just makes it so damn difficult. And with that, it's like if I could spend more time ranking up, I have a feeling that I'd be able to solve some more of these problems that will get me more ranks up, that will make other problems and opportunities easier to happen, or easier to succeed at, and strengthen my kingdom. I have a bad feeling that at some point everything is going to come crashing down because I'm going to come up with problems that I can't resolve no matter how many crisis points that I throw at them, because I can't get my stats up. And I am going to be very annoyed at the design of this game if I fail it now because of a kingdom thing that I cannot control. I do feel that if I was to play this game again, I'm likely to turn off the kingdom management. It's an interesting aspect to the game, and if the numbers were more achievable, there's some opportunity. There was a problem there where it's like there's no point in even sending Harem to go deal with this problem, because even assigning somebody to it, he has a 0% chance. I mean, I burnt a crisis point to make him do that with some degree of success, but it's like it's a negligible amount of success without burning more of these crisis points. I feel that those numbers could have done with being adjusted. There's potentially some ideal solution to all of this, using rations so that you can move around quicker and not spend so much time in the wild so that you get more chance to up the stats. Using the settlements to get the points in these stats so that you can make sure you're upgrading the relevant ones all of the time rather than going with whatever you've got available. There's potentially some hidden logic there that, this is now, I'm pretty sure, my most played game on Steam. If not, it's coming very close to being my most played game on Steam. And with that, I appreciate that there's people out there who will put thousands of hours into a game, which is fair enough. If that's what you want to do, then by all means, do that. Pathfinder Kingmaker is 273 hours, the longest I have spent playing any one computer game on Steam. I don't feel this burning desire to try to look under the hood and work out the numbers to do a successful kingdom side of the game. There's just not enough going on there that makes me want to sit down and work it all out. So yeah, it's one of them things where it's like, if you have no interest in it, I'd highly recommend just turning off that aspect of it. Anyway, enough me ranting about things. I feel like you've been doing the main quest for most of the chapters pretty quick and having time to manage the kingdom. That said, if I were getting DC odds like that, I will be save scumming. Yeah, I mean, one of the things for me is like you're given the impression that you've got very limited time to do things. So when the chapter quests have been coming up to do them, it's like, okay, I'm going to go off and do them before I run out of time, before the game comes crashing down around me because I've run out of time. Maybe that's a wrong way of doing it. I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to leave it until there's some warning that occurs, or I leave it and, I save it and then continue doing kingdom stuff until, rank up one thing, save the game. Rank up another thing, save the game. Rank up something else. Oh, you failed. The game ended because you didn't do something quick enough. Right, go back to the previous save. See if you can do the thing quick enough. Oh no, you can't do that. Okay, go back to the previous save. Go ahead and do the thing. Right, now that you've done that one part of the main plot, it's given you the next part, but you're not doing that yet. You're going back to the kingdom, and you're starting to rank up other things. You get 1 down. Great, save it. 2 done. Save it. 3 done. Fail again. Right, okay. Back to the one after the 2 fails. Go off, do a part of the main quest. You succeeded that time. Okay, great. Back to the kingdom stuff. Ignore the fact that you've got the quest going. Rank up, rank up, rank up. And just try to force it that way. And, you're not given any guidance at all on what is important. Or what you should be focusing on. And I appreciate, you know, in some cases they don't want to be telling you everything that you want to be focusing on, because then, you know, there's the whole element of some games, they help you too much and it feels like you're just there to click buttons. You're not there to actually participate in the game. That said, though, you know, if the game ends because of some part of the kingdom stuff that I have not done in the early chapters of the game, when I could have spent more time building up ranks in things so that I could succeed and gain better stats for the later part of the game, that would mean that I have to just pretty much wipe out this entire playthrough and start all over again. And I just don't have the desire right now to do that, if it came to it. You know, if it fails me and I see absolutely no way of recovering it, I'm moving on to the next game. I'm not starting up a new game. There's a slight chance that, you know, in a few years when I've forgotten the plot, I might decide to come back and be sort of like, yes, I'm going to go find an online guide, play this, maybe turn off the kingdom management because it annoys me, and see this game through to completion. But I feel that it would leave such a bad taste in my mouth where it's like, nope, I failed, spent 250 hours of my life trying to succeed at this, I'm done, I quit, uninstall the game, never install it again. Even if I succeed, there's a reasonable chance that I'm never going to play this game again once I've finished. It's not a bad game. Could do with a little bit more of a pointer in where you're going and what you're supposed to be doing. I'm going to be playing at some point Wrath of the Righteous. I'm curious to see what they've done. I think if a stat hits 0, it's a game over. Yeah, there's some that I'm pretty sure are coming close to, you know, I think there's one that is just over 100. Whereas, you know, economy is over 300. There's one which is just over 100, which could easily fail because that's the level of DCs that they're giving me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking this and thinking that everything's going to crash down because I've heard too many stories of people getting so far through the game and just failing at that. I don't know. Like I said, however this resolves, whether I finish the game and succeed, or if I failed the game because of something that I missed, I'm probably going to be sort of like, yep, okay, I'm done with this game. Save, quit, uninstall, move on to the next thing. I've already chosen the next game. I'm not going to do Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous for a while. Might be a couple of years before I do it on stream. I have to get over this is going to be a long game. The next game I'm going to be playing on the Tuesdays and Thursdays is going to be Torment Tides of Numenera. From what I've read, it's a lot shorter of the game. From the bits that I've played in the past, it's an enjoyable game. Believe it's turn-based again. Pretty sure it's turn-based. It's based on the Numenera system, which is a system that I love because it's very easy on the statistics. The setting is more sci-fi fantasy than it is fantasy. But it's firmly fantasy because it's not quite sci-fi. Don't want to give too much away on that. Partly because I don't quite remember it all. Partly because I can't remember where on the scale of sci-fi to fantasy it sits. But I do know that it's got a sci-fi kink to it. Yeah, I think a lot of stories come from not dealing with the Kingdom Link quests on the map fast enough. But I don't know about what's in front of you. Yeah, I'm coming up to the end. I asked J Station to take a quick squint at, a playthrough guide and sort of like get an estimate on how much longer I've got at this, and he's saying possibly got anywhere between 10 to 20% left to go. Nearer the 10% mark. Part of me is sort of like, I want to do everything. I want to sort of like really dig in deep to this. But there's also the fact that this has taken a long time to get here. And there's elements that I could be digging for hours and still not find them all without resorting to guides and then having to cross-reference everything that I've done against everything that I've not done. I'm slowly running out of patience for this game. I'm determined to see it through to the end, but if it all comes crashing down, then that's the end. I've chosen the next game I'm going on to. Hopefully it's not as infuriating for me. I'm probably still going to critique it as much as I've critiqued Pathfinder Kingmaker. It's something that I do. But it's on there as it's a much shorter game, so hopefully it won't drag on as much. There's been sessions like this where it's like I went in, I killed that thing, I ran around Patex a little bit, I came back to the throne room, and I've just been there ever since dealing with the kingdom stuff. I don't feel that that's very entertaining to watch. But, it's an experience, and I'm glad that I've done it. And hopefully we'll get a satisfactory end to the game. But anyway. So yes, I will be back next Tuesday, continuing on Pathfinder Kingmaker. I will be back tomorrow playing Hitman 3. I do believe there's another elusive target out, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it the week after? There's an elusive target coming up. I will be back on Monday, hopefully, playing Cyberpunk 2077, as long as my power doesn't go out again. I will usually be around on Magcat_UK's channel over the weekend. Saturdays we'll generally play some co-op gaming. And I think that's just about it. Yeah, that's just about it. We're going to raid a friend of mine, Trash Bandico. Currently playing some Undertale over on her channel. And I hope to see you all next time. Daddy bye.